Hello, my name is Luke Burns, and this is my Com 101 speech 2, and these are my cards. Most people that live in the United States have either heard about the Great Depression or learned about it, watched documentaries on it, or read about it. And in this period of time, many people struggled to make ends meet and provide shelter for their family and put food so their family could have the necessities. Jobs are very scarce and businesses were failing, along with banks were closing, corporations were crashing to the ground, and no one really had money. The Hoover Dam, also once referred to as the Boulder Dam, had a positive effect on the people and created a town, all while creating thousands of jobs for people in need. I was born 15 minutes outside of Boulder City, and I've been to the dam multiple times, and I have a lot of experience with it, and I have a lot of knowledge that I've learned from it. The Great Depression affected many of our relatives and had a huge impact on our country. The Hoover Dam contributed to the reconstruction and was a source of hope. It also gave our country a second chance and a way to fix our economic collapse. I will begin by introducing the Great Depression and explaining the history behind it. I will then turn my focus to the Hoover Dam and the role it played in the Great Depression. I will then examine how the story of the Hoover Dam and how it even benefits us today. As we dive into the Hoover Dam's history, we must begin with the Great Depression. In 1929, the country was put into the Great Depression. On October 24th, 1929, the stock market crashed. Also, it was the New York Stock Exchange collapsed, and this led everyone with no money, and then cycled into the London stock market crash. At that point, the country was put into economic failure, and any Western industrial country's market failed. The economy, and then before this happened, there was the 1920s. In the 1920s, it was also known as the Roaring Twenties, and was where the economy was thriving and everyone had money, businesses were succeeding, and corporations were growing until that. The Great Depression, the crash left millions of people without jobs and money. Without jobs, these people were struggling to put food on the table and shelter their families. According to History.com, 2 million people were homeless at the peak of the Great Depression. To me, this is pretty astonishing because 2 million people compared to how many people were actually in the country is a lot, and that's super high compared to how it is now. The Great Depression was a horrible event in American history, and I think it's a very good learning experience for our politicians, and it's a cool thing for us to learn from. The Hoover Dam was important in the rejuvenation of our country. The Hoover Dam was built in 1931 and fueled the drive for fix. History.com states, construction began in 1931, 2 years into the Great Depression, as the global economic catastrophe left millions jobless, and the U.S. started financing big infrastructural projects. The Hoover Dam stunned the world with its size. It was one of the biggest dams ever created, and it really helped. It was a feat of nature almost, it was amazing. The Hoover Dam then provided a reliable source of water and electricity for the people. The dam took 7 years to complete, and it provided thousands of Americans with jobs and job. The lack of money in the middle class is what killed our country. The middle class couldn't even get the bare necessities such as medicine and food. People were coming from all around the world to get money. We're coming all across the world just to get money and to provide their families with food. The dam created a home for people, and the construction zone created a place where people could live, and created the city of Boulder City. And this was a place where the workers could enjoy with their family, eat food, and all sorts of stuff. Without the creation of the dam, Boulder City, Lake Mead, and many other things would not exist today. Who knows where our country would be without it? And the Hoover Dam created tons of jobs and even a city. Today, thousands of people visit the Hoover Dam as a tourist attraction, and the Hoover Dam served as a prominent symbol of Americans' greatness and ability to overcome an economic crisis that struck a severe blow in the country's morale. That's it. These are my cards.